Like a game of chess, the contest for the 2027 general election will be down to one thing: the side with the most political wits. President Bola Tinubu, who leads the ruling party, is a renowned master strategist, and within the ranks of his party are seasoned political eggheads. From holding sway since 1999 as one of the country's strongest opposition voices to playing a key role in the defeat of the People's Democratic Party in 2015, Tinubu has shown that he is not one to be dismissed politically. Few expected him to win the 2023 presidential election with major hurdles at the primary and without the support of the outgoing president at the time. But he defied the odds, won the primary, and went ahead to outwit the opposition candidates despite the very low rating of the APC following Muhammadu Buhari's 8 years in office. Since assumption of office, Tinubu has used his political acumen in repositioning his party, the All Progressives Congress, and consolidating political forces with same opposition figures offering themselves to him. In contrast, unlike his time in the opposition, most opposition political parties have been in disarray, unable to form a solid, unified voice in checkmating the activities of his government. While smaller parties have criticized some of his administration's policies, most of the major parties have been confronted with various leadership crises at different levels. This situation has seen many state governors and members of the National Assembly dumping their political platforms and pitching tent with Tinubu's progressives family. A development that saw political analysts accusing the administration of promoting a one-party state. On June 12, 2025, the president, while addressing a joint session of the National Assembly to celebrate Nigeria's Democracy Day, kicked strongly against this assertion, insisting that as a Democrat, he would never support a move that undermines Nigeria's growing democracy. But his comments were laced with confident sarcasm, suggesting the opposition groups are miles away from constituting any serious threat to him in 2027.
The opposition died the moment the PDP, right, decided to be insincere in their sense of judgment. If the ticket was zoned to the south, the crisis that destroyed the PDP today would have been averted.
President Tinubu played very good politics. He was using his people to support P2B, because in supporting P2B, in putting resources for them to push P2B's candidature, it was reducing PDP votes. So it's a strategist. We realized that very early on, and I remember warning Nigerians that if the opposition did not come together then against him, that he will win. He played fantastic politics, better politics than we all did.
Weeks after this, Nigerian opposition leaders who were left helpless with a worsening crisis in their various political parties, particularly the leading opposition, the PDP, rallied together and adopted the African Democratic Congress, ADC, as a new platform to challenge the president's re-election bid in 2027. The coalition comprises notable politicians like former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, who was the People's Democratic Party presidential candidate in 2023, Peter Obi, who almost pulled an upset in 2023 presidential election with the Labour Party, former Governor and Minister Rotimi Amechi, and Tinubu's most vocal critic, Nasiru El-Rufai, among other notable former governors, ministers, and National Assembly members, has no doubt changed the dynamics of the 2027 general election.
60% of the 93 million or 94 million ballots belong to the young people, youths and women. When we sit down again, if we have a reason for such and say, you know what, let's create a force that will change the old order. Is either you do it right or it ends inconclusive. That is when the incumbent will know there is a force to compete with him.
The coalition should put their house in order and make sure they sacrifice. Because if you should throw it open, you will see a lot of people, they will not be satisfied with the primary. They say these people are being favored, this one, and it will divide whatever things they are coming together to do.
But the political assets of some politicians in the coalition, considering their trajectory in the last two election cycles, is one major concern raised by political watchers. They have also yet to present any clear vision statements, and many envisaged a clash of interests among the assemblage of political gladiators, considering their individual aspirations.
Interested parties in the presidential ticket of the coalition are experienced politicians, and I think that they understand that the easy, the surest, and the simple way to managing their various interests in the presidential ticket is to commit to organizing a free, fair, and credible primary election, is to opt for consensus. Which of the candidates has the greatest potency to aggregate votes and deal the ruling APC the greatest blow? They can settle for that candidate.
For the fact that they just speak about ADC as the vehicle for the coalition, and they are all afraid to take membership in ADC, is because they know that the reality is that anybody who makes the move of entering ADC knows that his political ambition or his aspiration for that office is dead on arrival, knowing that there is a serious fight, there are serious legal issues in the ADC.
We don't have a predetermined agenda. We don't have any favorite candidate. We are going to provide a level playing ground and a transparent process for the emergence of our presidential candidate. I'm not aware, therefore, that any of these aspirants have directly themselves say that it's either they are the ones or they are no longer part of the coalition.
It was the same personal interest and ambition that divided the opposition votes, giving Bola Tinubu an 8,794,726 votes, a clear path to victory in 2023. Comparatively, Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi ran a joint opposition ticket on the PDP platform in 2019. That joint ticket in 2023 could have been the end of the APC. But the forces within the PDP and disagreements over zoning arrangements led Obi to run separately. The joint votes of both men totaled 13,086,053 votes. Looking back, Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi's outing has shown that a joint ticket between the two could become a threat to President Tinubu's re-election. However, the structure of the ADC, their adopted political party, the divergent views of their supporters on rotational presidency, and the financial capacity among their comrades is another debate among political watchers. It is far from conclusive for President Tinubu, who still has a lot of work to do to secure votes from the north, where his approval ratings are said to be very low. While in the south, the outlook looks slightly better, with support from defectors, including governors. Tinubu's rumored plans to dump Vice President Kashim Shettima is generating ripples in the north, particularly the northeast, and could potentially deepen the cracks within his party. With the death of former President Muhammadu Buhari, his political structure within the Congress for Progressive Change bloc and his influence in the 2027 election may either wither with him or swing in favor of Tinubu, giving him access to make inroads, particularly with the way Tinubu deployed resources to give the late president a befitting farewell.
Let us know the agenda, what they want to focus on. Let us know the issue of where are you zoning the presidency, where are you zoning that, so that there won't be an issue. So if you want to join us, you know. They say where there's no law, there's no crime. So, and the third one that I feel that they need to do, they need to sacrifice.
Should the coalition fail to woo the other major opposition political parties to work with it going into 2027?
The opposition coalition saw the optics and were quick to accuse the president of exploiting Buhari's death for political advantage, an assertion presidential spokesman Bayo Ononuga hit back very firmly. This shows that the game for 2027 is clearly on. And at the end, the odds will likely favor the side with the most wits, political experience, and quick thinking to the emerging plots in the unfolding political chess game. Ugianave Udwimo.